What if the most valuable AI skill isn't learning AI at all? Every day, millions of people spend hours mastering prompts, experimenting with new tools, and chasing the latest AI trend. But here's the surprising part. Businesses aren't paying the highest salaries for people who know the most AI tools. They're paying for people who solve expensive business problems. Today, we're uncovering why that distinction matters, how AI is changing the value of human expertise, and what skills are becoming dramatically more valuable because of AI, not despite it. By the end of this video, you'll understand what to focus on if you want to stay relevant, increase your income, and build a career that survives the AI revolution. As always on this channel, we are not sponsored by any company, and you won't find any affiliate links in the description. This is not a paid promotion. Every recommendation we make is based solely on our own research, analysis, and opinions. We are not paid or influenced by any sponsor.
Hello, if you're new to the channel, I'm Dave Karpinski. Yes, I am a real person behind this. I bring more than 40 years of global consulting and executive leadership experience, working at some of the world's most respected consulting organizations, including McKinsey & Company, Accenture, Ernst & Young, IBM, Infosys, Cognizant, and SAP. Throughout my career, I've advised hundreds of C-suite executives and led large-scale business transformations for Fortune 500 companies and major public sector organizations, including Google, Nike, Lockheed Martin, Disney, Costco, government agencies, the military, defense organizations, and leading technology companies. I hold a PhD, an MBA, PMP, and PRASHI certifications, along with multiple SAP certifications. Everything you see on this channel is built on real-world experience. While I use AI to enhance research, visuals, and production, the ideas, strategies, analysis, and insights come from decades of hands-on consulting and leadership. My goal is simple: help you understand AI, business, technology, leadership, and investing through practical, experience-backed advice you can actually apply. I'm glad you're here, and I hope you'll join me on the journey.
Think back to the arrival of spreadsheets. Companies didn't suddenly hire thousands of spreadsheet experts. They hired better accountants, analysts, and financial managers who happen to use spreadsheets. AI follows the same pattern. The tool is powerful, but the real value comes from applying it to meaningful work. Surveys from major consulting firms consistently show that organizations are investing billions into AI adoption. Yet one of their biggest challenges isn't software. It's finding people who understand the business well enough to use AI effectively. That's the difference between operating a tool and creating business value. The next insight explains why this gap is becoming even larger. Imagine asking AI to redesign a struggling business. It can generate ideas in seconds, but it doesn't truly understand your customers, your politics, your culture, or your financial constraints. Those require judgment. Judgment comes from experience, pattern recognition, and asking better questions. AI dramatically increases the speed of producing answers, but it still depends on humans to define the right problem. Businesses don't fail because they lack answers. They fail because they solve the wrong problems. That's why experienced professionals who combine domain expertise with AI are becoming incredibly valuable. The next example makes this much easier to see. Picture two project managers. The first spends 6 months learning every feature of multiple AI tools. The second spends that same time mastering supply chain operations, negotiation, financial analysis, and customer behavior while using AI every day to accelerate the work. A year later, who creates more value? The second person. AI can explain project management. It can't replace years of practical experience making difficult trade-offs between cost, schedule, quality, and risk. The lesson is simple. AI multiplies expertise. It doesn't magically create it. And once you understand that multiplication effect, your learning priorities completely change. Many people ask, which prompt should I memorize? That's the wrong question. Prompts change constantly as models improve. Business problems remain remarkably consistent. Companies always want to reduce costs, increase revenue, improve customer satisfaction, reduce risk, and save time. If you understand those 5 objectives deeply, AI becomes your assistant instead of your profession. Think of a doctor. Patients don't pay for someone who knows how to operate medical equipment. They pay for accurate diagnosis and trusted judgment. AI works the same way. The more valuable your thinking becomes, the more valuable every AI tool becomes in your hands. That leads directly to the overlooked opportunity. One of the fastest growing roles is becoming a translator between business and technology. Executives understand strategy. Engineers understand systems. Customers understand pain points. Very few people understand all three. That's where enormous value is created. Imagine a manufacturing company losing $5 million each year because of forecasting errors. AI might identify patterns, but someone must understand inventory, finance, operations, and customer demand before implementing the solution. That person doesn't need to build the AI model. They need to connect the dots. And that ability is becoming increasingly rare, which explains why companies compete aggressively for these professionals. If you only remember one framework from this video, make it this. Invest in 5 areas: domain expertise, communication, critical thinking, decision-making, and leadership. AI strengthens every one of these rather than replacing them. A finance expert using AI produces better forecasts faster. A marketer using AI tests more campaigns. An engineer using AI writes better documentation and analyzes more options. Notice the pattern. AI increases output, but expertise determines quality. The biggest winners won't necessarily know the most AI tools. They'll know how to create the most business value with whatever tools exist. Next, let's put numbers behind that idea. Suppose an AI subscription costs $30 per month. That's about $360 per year. Now imagine that using it saves just 1 hour every week. Over a year, that's roughly 52 hours recovered. If your professional time is worth $100 per hour, you've effectively created more than $5,000 of value from a $360 investment. But here's the important part. The software didn't create that value by itself. Your expertise determined how those extra hours were used. Spend them solving bigger problems, winning more clients, or improving operations, and the return becomes exponentially larger. That realization changes how you should approach learning altogether. Instead of asking, "How do I become an AI expert?" ask a better question. What valuable expertise can AI amplify? That shift changes everything. Study your industry. Learn how businesses make money. Understand customers, operations, finance, sales, and leadership. Then use AI to work faster, think broader, and execute better. That's exactly what the highest performing professionals are already doing. They're not competing against AI. They're partnering with it while developing skills that remain valuable regardless of which new model launches next month. And in the second half of this journey, we'll explore exactly how to build that advantage step by step. Every week, another AI application promises to change everything. Many people immediately abandon what they were learning and chase the newest platform. That creates the illusion of progress while producing very little real expertise. Think of a carpenter. The value doesn't come from owning 50 different tools. It comes from knowing exactly when and how to use each one. AI works the same way. Pick 2 or 3 reliable tools and master how they fit into your daily work. Spend the rest of your learning time understanding your customers, your industry, and your business. Those investments compound for decades, while software interfaces change every few months. Once you stop chasing tools, you can begin building an advantage that's much harder to copy. The professionals creating the biggest productivity gains aren't simply asking AI random questions. They build repeatable workflows. Start by identifying the 5 tasks that consume most of your week. Perhaps it's writing reports, preparing presentations, analyzing spreadsheets, responding to emails, or researching competitors. Next, determine where AI can eliminate repetitive work without replacing your judgment. Imagine reducing a 2-hour report to 45 minutes while improving its quality. Over a year, saving just 90 minutes each workday creates nearly 400 extra hours. That's the equivalent of 10 additional work weeks you can reinvest into higher value projects. The next step is deciding where those newly created hours should actually go. Saving time means nothing unless you invest it wisely. Many people simply finish work earlier and call it a success. The highest performers do something very different. They redirect those hours toward learning their market, strengthening client relationships, improving leadership skills, or solving bigger strategic problems. Imagine 2 consultants who both save 5 hours each week using AI. One spends that time watching videos. The other spends it meeting customers and identifying recurring business problems worth millions of dollars. After a few years, the difference becomes enormous. AI creates leverage, but only if you apply that leverage intentionally. That leads to one of the biggest mistakes businesses continue making. A surprising number of companies attempt to automate inefficient processes before fixing them. That's like buying a faster car to drive on a road full of potholes. AI can accelerate work, but it also accelerates mistakes if the underlying process is poorly designed. Before introducing automation, map the workflow, identify bottlenecks, unnecessary approvals, duplicate data entry, and repeated manual tasks. Eliminate waste first, then use AI to speed up what remains. Companies that follow this sequence often achieve dramatically better returns than those that automate everything immediately. Understanding this principle also changes the way you think about your own career. The market rewards people according to the size of the problems they solve. An employee who saves a company $1,000 creates value. Someone who identifies a process improvement worth $5 million becomes indispensable. AI helps you analyze more information, explore more scenarios, and evaluate more options, but only if you understand which problems deserve attention. Start asking better questions. Where is money being lost? Where are customers frustrated? Which decisions take too long? Which reports are never used? Learning to identify expensive problems is often worth far more than learning another AI feature. The next framework brings everything together. Imagine stacking your knowledge into 3 layers. The foundation is domain expertise, because you must understand how your industry actually works. The second layer is business thinking, including finance, communication, customer behavior, operations, and strategy. The third layer is AI, which accelerates everything beneath it. Most people build this pyramid upside down by starting with AI. That's unstable, because the technology has nothing meaningful to amplify. Build the foundation first, strengthen the business layer second, then use AI as the multiplier sitting on top. Once you understand this framework, deciding what to learn next becomes much simpler. Here's a practical roadmap you can begin immediately. During the first 30 days, identify repetitive work and learn one dependable AI platform thoroughly. During the next 30 days, study your industry more deeply than your competitors by reading reports, listening to customers, and understanding financial drivers. During the final 30 days, combine both by creating repeatable workflows that save time while improving quality. Measure everything. Track hours saved, errors reduced, customer satisfaction, and business outcomes. These metrics become proof of your value. And once you begin measuring results, you'll notice something remarkable about the people advancing fastest. The professionals pulling ahead in the AI era rarely describe themselves as AI experts. They're exceptional marketers, engineers, accountants, consultants, project managers, doctors, designers, and business leaders who happen to use AI exceptionally well. Their identity is built around expertise, not software. When new AI models appear, they adapt quickly because their competitive advantage was never tied to a single application. That's an important distinction. Technology changes, business problems remain. If you become outstanding at solving those problems, every new generation of AI simply makes you even more valuable. That brings us to the biggest lesson of this entire discussion. If this video proves anything, it's that the future doesn't belong to people who memorize the most AI prompts or constantly chase the newest applications. It belongs to people who combine deep expertise, sound judgment, business understanding, and AI to create measurable value. Learn your industry, understand customers, develop critical thinking, build leadership skills, then let AI multiply everything you've already mastered. That's the difference between using technology and becoming indispensable because of it. If you found this valuable, subscribe for more practical, data-driven insights into AI, business, and wealth creation. The next competitive advantage may not come from learning another AI tool. It may come from learning what everyone else overlooks. If there are other AI topics you'd like me to discuss on the channel, please put them in comments. Thank you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next video.